Hello, my name is Glenn Dyer, and you are watching a Dyer-Situation. Today I'm seeing the young Messiah. This is gonna be good. You know, feels like a week or two ago when I reviewed, what was it called? You know, that one movie, with Jesus in it. Do I really not remember? Risen, yeah. When I reviewed Risen. And I don't know. That movie, I think, was barely able to, I don't know, for lack of better words, keep it real. You know, like, trying to make this seem like as plausible as possible, and like probably how most people who believe that would think it probably would have realistically happened, if that makes any sense. And then we have this, where Kid Jesus is played by like a young Nordic dude who with a British accent. You know, in the last movie, like he was in Risen, he was brown skinned, kind of plumpish. You know, he didn't look like a typical Jesus, but he looked like he was from the Middle East. You know, he looked right. But this kid, like, this kid looks like a... I don't know, he looks more like Gavroche than Jesus. So, I'm a little amused by that. And I guess this movie, The Young Messiah, it's gonna be more about his childhood. So, I don't know how... I haven't read the Bible end to end, so I don't know if it really goes that much into his childhood per se, but from what I know, from what I've heard, it really kind of skims over it, which, fair enough. You want to get to the more interesting and more impactful points, I'm sure. So, yeah, I guess this movie's gonna be filling in the blank, like a fan fiction of sorts, but like a Jesus fan fiction. I don't know. Tell you the truth, it's worrying. And next week, I'm also going to be seeing another religious film, although that one, Miracles from Heaven. That one sounds even. There's my caller. So, I don't know, well, if this is bad, I hope it's at least funny, so I can talk about it more than Risen. So, yeah, let's see it. Well, I'll give the movie one thing. Throughout the duration of the feature, I was constantly looking at the stuff going on screen and saying to myself, Jesus Christ. So, there you go, it achieved its goal. Roll credits, everything's over, yeah, it's... no. Okay. So, not only in this movie is Jesus white, in fact his entire family looks more like what the Renaissance painters predicted that they look like everything. You know, Joseph looks exactly like that Joseph portrait that's very famous. Mary looks exactly like that Mary portrait. And in fact, which is kind of funny, because everyone around them, including like extended family members, are dark-skinned. So it's like that one family is for some reason like Nordic white, and it's like kind of hilarious to me. Well, let's see. Oh, also, despite living as really poor people in the Middle Ages, they have a very, very good access to skin cream and chapsticks and things that just keep them looking really good. I mean, you know, I don't think that's realistic. Like, literally, nobody's dirty or anything. No. Hell, when people die, they hardly even bleed. It's a very... people were just inherently cleaner back then. It was incredible. Well, there was this one guy who was stabbed to death, and he had a little blood trickle, like about that big on his chest. So you know that... You know, I always figured, like, whenever you're stabbed in the left ventricle, yeah, it's just a tiny little trickle. You don't see that much. So, yeah, on that aspect, this movie is freaking terrible. And I wouldn't blame it too much for things like that. Like, if it was just, you know, a movie. For instance, Gods of Egypt, I was totally willing to accept that it's just its own universe and stuff. And it was just very stupid inside of its own universe. But you know, of this, the fact that at the very beginning it tried to pass itself off as a purely historically accurate depiction. No. Okay? Like it actually said it at an opening text blurb, like, this is based on scripture and ancient history. Well, when people look like that, no. So, yeah, I don't know who the hell is doing costuming and makeup, but you didn't do a very good job. And whoever was doing casting, very good at finding people who look like those portraits, and everything else, no. So, let me get more into nitty-gritty. Just in terms of, like, movie making, this is god-awful. Pun intended. Like, it's hard to explain editing when I'm not doing, like, a Chadwick Jones episode and I can't show you, like, clips from it. 'Cause it's hard to explain. But basically, this movie cuts to different things so fast that it's kind of disorienting. Like, for instance, they're just walking along in a field, and then suddenly there's a dude up on a hill about to rape someone. And, like, out of nowhere. And I don't know, where was the family coming from in the first place? So, where is this? And later she alludes to like, trying to escape this guy through tunnels? What tunnels? You're on the middle of, like, a mountain in the middle of nowhere. What? And that's just, like, for instance. From the very beginning, like, when this kid trips on an apple that the devil tossed. The devil's a very prominent character in this. Like, that entire scene was, what is going on? Why are people behaving this way? Like little Jesus just looked at him and he was like, whoa! He was acting like a stereotypical, like, quick-to-kill Stephen King bully. Stephen King's a little too hard. But, yeah, just from the very beginning, it's very silly and very over-the-top, and, yeah. In this case, you're wondering, you know how in Risen, they did try to keep the whole, is it for real, is it not thing, kind of ambiguous, at least at the beginning, and then in the latter half, it goes full on, you know, Jesus mode. This movie, now, this movie, the light shines through his hands immediately, brah, but, which, you know, not gonna blame it for, but, I don't know, it's not like exactly the depth, the largest amount of subtlety going on. But I should really just go on to this. For the most part, like, it's just very bland. And I don't see why it has to be. I mean, it's the Bible. The Bible is very exciting. Lots of bloody battles, lots of bringing people back from the dead, lots of cool stuff going on. But no, this movie's devoid of character, except for Jesus' uncle. Honestly, I don't know who that guy is. He looks very similar to Jesus in Risen. I wonder if that was on purpose. But Jesus' uncle is awesome. He's like an incredibly funny dude. He actually seems to be enjoying his role. Like, he has a personality beyond, you know, yeah, I'm Jesus' dad. I'm Jesus' mother. So, like, he's actually, like, yeah, he's actually got a full-on personality, which is awesome. And, yeah. And then some things happen in the movie, and, yeah. Overall, just, like, too over-the-top at times. Not very historically or even scripturally accurate at times. And just some terrible editing. Really terrible. Like, who did this? And who directed it, too? I mean, it's not just the editor's fault that the director decided to have someone escape from a tunnel onto the middle of a mountain. Like, what? You know, it's not the editor's fault that the devil is some pasty-faced blonde dude in a black robe who... God, that was a funny role. Oh, I don't know. When I think of the devil, you know, at least they didn't go for the traditional, like, evangelican fire and brimstone guy. Like, he actually looked like an attractive person. You know, because for those of you who don't know, the devil is the most brilliant and beautiful of his angels. Yeah. But, like, still, he acts just like a maniacal, like, I have burned Jerusalem to the ground and there's nothing you can do about it. Maybe he's from the devil. I don't know, it was kind of funny to me. Yeah, kind of interesting that they decided to go for what's more scripturally accurate for the devil, but did not decide to do the same justice for Jesus and friends. It's an odd choice. Yeah, there was one more thing. Oh yeah, they have like the corrupt prince of Judea, or maybe he's the king, I don't know. But, God, this movie's so childish. It's like, he acts similar to Caligula, but of course this has to be PG-13, so instead he just kind of like throws wine at people. And literally, like, he works in a dark cave with like weird looking people doing alchemy. Like, just like, yeah, this is the bad guy. Like, incredibly over the top. Like, honestly, like what a 6-year-old would imagine when reading this stuff. And it's just incredibly insulting. I mean, even Risen didn't have the gall to say, well, based entirely on historical fact and scripture. It didn't have the balls to say that. It, like, well, not balls, gall. That's the word. Like, 'cause, man, it is not. Real people are not this cartoonish. I should know. I've seen some. I think. I think once I saw a person. Nobody acts like this. I'm pretty sure even back then. So yeah, overall not very good. And until next time, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching A Dyer-Situation.